I really want to scale up. I want to look beyond borders. Why don't you get in touch with Global Bengali Entrepreneur Network?
I am from Jiben.
Welcome. Business expands beyond borders. All parameters head northward. Global Bengali Entrepreneur Network begins its Indian sojourn. Come, grow with us. Global Bengali Entrepreneur Network, care of Deadline Media Private Limited, P215 Lecturers Extension, 2nd floor, Kolkata 700029.
প্রাইভেট ইকুইটি ইনভেস্টমেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে চাইনিজদের তুলনায় ভারতীয়দের মধ্যে আগ্রহের ঘাটতি রয়েছে যথেষ্ট। ফলত এন্টারপ্রেনিউরশিপ ডেভেলপমেন্ট এবং ক্যাপিটাল জোগাড়ের ক্ষেত্রে ভারতীয়দের হাজারো অসুবিধার সম্মুখীন হতে হচ্ছে প্রতিনিয়ত। সম্প্রতি খৈতান অ্যান্ড কোম্পানির উদ্যোগে আয়োজিত এক ফর্মাল প্যানেল ডিসকাশনে এসে সে কথাই প্রকাশ করলেন IFC সিনিয়র ইনভেস্টমেন্ট অফিসার অনুপ কুমার আগরওয়াল।
See, IFC is a multilateral development financial institution, and IFC does both direct investments and also supports private equity funds. So globally, we have invested in several funds. In India also, we have invested in several funds. If I recollect, our committed exposure to the funds space here in India is around $600 million to more than 30 funds. And we have invested in different types of funds. Like some are sector focused, for example infrastructure focused funds or climate change focused funds. Some are normal growth equity funds. Some are dedicated to financial inclusion like microfinance focused funds. Invests in several funds, and we in India specifically, let's say if you look at emerging markets, this part of the country, eastern India, we have also invested in dedicated funds which will focus on investing in, let's say, markets like UP, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, so on and so forth. Indian funds were raising a lot of money in the past, 2005, 6, 7. A lot of money was raised by the fund managers here. Last couple of years, it has not been so good for India. However, we are hopeful that things will again turn around, and as the macro situation improves, probably there'll be more LPs showing interest to invest in India. So the fund managers are today playing a very they have to play a strong role with their investee companies and try to help them improve their business. And so they had in their business model they had anticipated that the underlying companies would do well within a particular frame of time. They will be able to exit, but unfortunately they have not been able to exit in several cases, and therefore the ultimate investors in the funds, they have not got their money back. So once that cycle starts changing, that starts showing some improvement, obviously the investors in the fund industry would again come back.
With China, what is the Indian performance?
Specifically, especially the Chinese fund industry has been able to raise significantly higher amount of money vis-a-vis, when we compare it with India. About $17 billion was raised by China in 2012 versus around $2 to $3 billion by India. As situation improves, because a lot of investors have already put in a lot of money in China and other emerging markets, and because India has not raised a lot of money in the last 2-3 years, therefore once the investment opportunities again start opening up, the macro situation improves, they would come back to India.
ওই অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত ছিলেন IVCA এর ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট নেহা মেহতা। তিনি বলেন ভেঞ্চার ক্যাপিটাল এবং প্রাইভেট ইকুইটি সম্পর্কে ভারতীয়দের মধ্যে পজিটিভ অ্যাটিটিউড গড়ে তোলার কাজ করছে তাদের সংস্থা IVCA.
So as you know, IVCA is a trade association of private equity and venture capital firms in India. It has more than 100 members, and we have been actively trying to promote the domestic raising of funds so that we have a large pool of funds available to this industry. And we have been talking to the regulators regulators like SEBI, RBI, and trying to create an ecosystem whereby it becomes easier for foreign investors to come and work here, and then also for the local high net worth individuals and companies to actually contribute to this space. We have alternate investment fund regime that was recently introduced by SEBI, which is there to make sure that the interest of all these investors are protected. They have come up with a new regulation for angel investing. So definitely the regulation is tightening up, and the purpose of the same is to make sure that the interest in investor gets secured and the market becomes a lot more profitable. The market is doing well, but as all of us know, that the rupee is depreciating, and there is actually a kind of sense in people that India has lost the sheen and the growth story is not there anymore. So I think it will just take a while for the SEBI chief and Mr. Chitambram to put their act together and get something done so that we get back to the track.